Hello, this is Andy from SwissAAA.org. Welcome to the Swiss AAA Online Academy. In this episode, I'm going to talk about criteria how to select a pistol. Of course, there's a lot of information, a lot of tests, a lot of different pistol types and so on. I'm going to share with you some basic principles that you can apply when selecting a pistol for sports shooting. So let's have a closer look. First point you have to observe is the specification of the sports shooting discipline you want to compete in. Usually they regulate dimensions, weight, type of sights, magazine capacity, whatever. So make sure the pistol you're interested in actually fits into those regulations, into those specifications. That's point number one. Second point, reliability. That's very important. Nothing is more annoying than a pistol that doesn't work. Reliability is also dependent on the type of ammunition that you use. So in sports shooting, we just normally use jacketed, round nose, standard ammunition. So if the ammunition is good, your gun should work out of the box. Don't get fooled by people that tell you it has to run in for 200 rounds, or you have to exchange certain parts, or you have to polish here and hone a bit here and so on. In my opinion, that's all a heap of crap, right? So your gun out of the box, little bit of oil and grease applied, should work perfectly. Reliability, that's your second criteria, reliability. So the third point is the ergonomics, and there we first look at the grip. So the grip on the pistol is the interface between you and the gun, right? And you should be able to have a optimally effective grip on the gun. That depends on the design of the gun and on your hands, obviously. So it's going to be different from shooter to shooter. Some guns might fit you and not the other guy, and vice versa, right? So you have to make sure that you can get a real, proper, strong grip on the gun to control it optimally and effectively. That's one thing, so it's controlled. The other thing is, with the grip angle of the gun, you have to be able to naturally point with the gun. So if you point and the gun looks on the floor, it's not your natural grip angle. So if I go on the target, it needs to be naturally pointing where I want it to point, right? So one is you have to know how a proper grip works. That's in another lesson. You have to apply it to the pistol you are interested in, and it has to have a grip angle that supports your natural ability to point at the target. The second point about the ergonomics is how well you can reach the controls of the gun. One thing is the slide, then of course mag release, slide stop, and the mag itself. Let's look what I mean by that. So the slide, you have to be able to efficiently and fast rack the slide. So it needs to be really grippy in order for you to not slip on the slide. So here this is very well done, and I can really rack the slide very efficiently and very fast. So how well can you operate the slide? Second point, how well can you operate the mag release? So let's put the mag in. So how well can I reach the mag release, now in this case with my thumb, to actually make a mag come out, right? Third point you have to check is how well can I operate the slide lock. right? So if you are empty and you put in a new mag, then you want to operate the slide lock to make the slide to go in battery. So how well can I reach it? And if I make a grip on the gun, do I not reach it while shooting, right? So next point was the slide lock. And the last point is, how well can I grip a mag? If it's stuck, how well can I forcibly tear it out of the pistol? So here this is very well done. I have a lot of perches here. So slide, mag release, slide release, and the magazine to pull it out if necessary, right? That's your controls that you need to have a look at. So now if you have a pistol that fits your hand, where you can reach the controls, you also have to make sure that your trigger finger can comfortably and correctly reach the trigger, of course. So that means that it needs to be able to go on the trigger without, stretching the finger out. Because you want to come perpendicular on the trigger, and this needs to go without effort. Otherwise the distance here is too small, too large, whatever. But this you need to check so that you can comfortably get on the trigger and operate the trigger. So point number 4, have a look at the sights. The sights are very important, of course, in sport shooting, and it's about acquiring the sight picture fast. So if I go on a target, I want to acquire the front sight very fast, align it with the rear sight and with the target. So check how well can you do that. How well does the front sight jump into your eye, right? If that's not good, then check how can I interchange the sights. So as you might know, I'm not a fan of tuning parts, but the sights I actually change sometimes on my guns. So check how well can I interchange the sights and what kind of sights are available on the market to make it even faster, even better to acquire. So check the sights, how fast, how well can I make a proper sight picture when going onto a target. 5th point, trigger system and trigger pull. Choose your trigger system. There's many of them on the market: double action, single action, DA, SA, double action only, whatnot. So for me, if it's a pistol, I want it to be a striker fire pistol. Why? It's just simple and it works, right? So once you have made the decision, check out if the actual trigger characteristic suits you. So in my example here, striker fire pistol, I want to have a little way, then a point where it's gonna break, constant pressure, boom, it goes. That's completely sufficient for me. Little way, breaking point, constant pressure, and it goes. For me, that's completely sufficient. Check it out for yourself if you're comfortable with it. Don't take it too light, don't take too heavy, and don't put in a quality pistol. You don't need a tuning trigger, right? Learn how to operate the factory trigger correctly. Most of the guns, it's just about perfect for dynamic sports shooting. So trigger system and trigger characteristic, trigger pull. Of course, there's other criteria you can apply. One that comes to mind is the precision. To be honest, most modern quality guns, they have adequate precision for dynamic sports shooting. I don't really care if it groups 5mm more or less with a certain match ammunition at 25 meters. For my application, for dynamic sports shooting, that's not so important. Okay, so more important is, does it fit the sport regulation that you want to compete in? Is it reliable? Can you operate the controls? Does it fit your hand? How fast, how well can you acquire the sights? And how's the trigger system and the trigger characteristics? So that's the 5 things I recommend you have a very close look at when you choose a pistol. Please visit the Swiss AAA Online Academy for more firearms education content. Contact us with any questions or remarks you might have. Thanks for watching.